Okay, we are back. Next presenter is Leah Houston. Dr. Houston, are you ready to present? We can't hear you. You may be on mute.
Hey, sorry, yes, I was on mute. I've requested presenting access to my phone as well, so that I can actually demo the app. I don't know if...
Okay, your 10 minutes starts now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm going to just quickly share my screen. I'm Dr. Leah Houston. I'm an emergency doctor. I practiced across the U.S. for 10 years, and I experienced the friction and the redundancy in the system, and I actually had my identity stolen by a hospital, and they were using my Medicare and Medicaid numbers to bill under my name, and that's what led me to build HPEC. And I want us to take a moment to take a journey through the digital transformation that we've all experienced. You know, we used to have paper credentials, we used to have private offices and manila folders with our patients' records in them. And then we now are using EHRs. And we use our technical credentials to log in and sign off on things. And those technical credentials are actually attached to our paper credentials. They're attached to our, our ability to prescribe controlled substances is with our DEA. Our ability to bill for Medicare and Medicaid is with our PTAN numbers and our MPI numbers. And the credentialing process is a friction-filled process that we as physicians all understand. Takes 2 to 6 months. It can cost health systems up to $1 million in potential revenue during each of these events. So because our paper credentials have become digital credentials, we now have a unique opportunity to create digital verifiable credentials that we can own and control, so that we can own and control our practice and our destiny, and we can restore privacy and trust to the practice of medicine. And that's what HPEC is. And so we raised a crowd fund from practicing doctors in 2020, and we've now developed the application. So I want to share this application with you. And so it says I need permission to share screen. I don't know if you can give me my phone. I had asked for permission
You
to
do
share.
have permissions. You have permissions, Leah. You stop this screen share and that will start automatically.
Okay, great. Let's see here. Perfect. So, all right. So we're currently in test mode right now, and I want to bring you to the profile. So if you look at this, it looks like any other social media profile. It says who I am, says a little bit about me. And this was a limited time, so I didn't get to do the onboarding. But during the onboarding, we're actually creating a secure enclave. And we're using self-sovereign and decentralized identity standards in order to essentially create a secure cloud wallet for each individual doctor. During the onboarding, we also check your government ID. So we are attaching your actual identity to your medical and professional identity by allowing you to upload credentials. So during the onboarding, you say what kind of doctor you are, where you work, and that's all populated automatically into your profile. Now, if you look at my wallet, you see here that I have a medical license and a medical degree that I've already uploaded. And so I'm just going to demonstrate the user journey for uploading my verifiable credentials. So I will upload my residency certificate. I'm an emergency doctor, so I'll choose that. And I went to Albany Med. Oops. Okay. Okay. So now I can scan a credential. So I've actually, I've taken a picture of my residency certificate and put it on my iPad so that I can do it this way because I have it on my wall. And it's going to ask me to do the back of the credential, which I obviously don't have right now, but it's for demo purposes, so that's fine. And so this is also being stored in my secure cloud wallet when this happens. And so I'm going to now go to the back end of HPEC, and I'm going to verify these credentials. They're mine, so I know that they're verifiable. So I will store them. And so now when you go back to my wallet, you see there's a residency certificate that's pending verification. So if I want to go back to share my screen, actually, you know what? I can just do it under this, show you on my iPad. And I can go through and verify the credential, and you will see it pop up that it becomes verified when we go back into the wallet. See that? So, just as the previous presenter said, we're trying to bridge the current world to the future world. So the goal is to get credentials actually issued digitally, but until then, being able to upload and have your credentials verified and being able to store them and then share them in this way with potential employers and things of that nature is going to be beneficial in the meantime, and it's going to save time and money. So what else can we do with this application? Well, once you're verified, you're actually allowed entry into community groups of other verified colleagues. So you see here my New York State license is already verified. I'm the only member in that group though, so there's nothing in there. But everyone is allowed entry into a regular community group here, where you can post content, share content. And the thing that's unique about this is that unlike other social media where it's centralized, because this is a decentralized identity platform that's based on open standards and decentralized communication systems, we have the ability to essentially self-moderate. So we have a cryptographic protocol in the back end that if I flag, for example, this post, and I think that it's not an authentic post, I think maybe she's trying to sell some services, I can flag her. And then if enough people agree that this is a post that shouldn't be posted, then there's an opportunity for the post to be moderated by a randomly selected group of moderators. So this is kind of mitigating the problem with censorship that we're currently experiencing. And so that's one valuable piece of the application. So what else can we do? In the community section, you can see here that the person I just flagged wants to connect with me. And when I connect with her, I have a choice. I can explain why I want to connect with her. It's not just, because I feel like it. I can say that, I refer patients to her and that we work together clinically, for example. So I'm building within my secure enclave my own reputation system. And so when you think about the potential long-term use cases for this, when patients want to search for people, they can search for people who have their doctor in the referral network. Or I, as a doctor, can look and see, who's available, and people can start tagging whether they take insurance or whether they're cash pay and things of that nature. So I am going to stop, even though I have a lot more to share. We have the option to invite people. I can invite myself and send them an invitation. And what else? That's it for now. I'd like to also share something new, but before I do, is there any questions about the current application?
Can you please help me understand what are the main use cases? It seems like it's a communication platform for physicians, if I understand correctly, to connect with each other. And is the purpose to share and discuss latest research, refer patients? Is it something else?
This is a complete identity solution for practicing doctors. As a practicing physician, I have to verify my credentials in order to work, in order to communicate, in order to sign into EHR systems, in order to sign into any application. With this, you have your technical decentralized credentialing credentials in your wallet. So yes, the social media piece is there. Yes, you connect with colleagues there, but the real value of this application is actually the credentialing application. And that being said, let me just show you really quickly the other piece of this, which will potentially help to understand. So this is the physician wallet. This is where I store my credentials, where I can communicate with colleagues. But in order for this to really be truly decentralized and to work, I need the credentials to actually be issued to me, correct? So let's see here. Stop sharing there. So we also have the EverCred system. Now, the EverCred system is attached to this, where credential issuing bodies like medical schools and residency programs can actually issue verifiable credentials to practicing doctors. So we actually have a pilot project with a residency program where they are going to actually issue digital residency certificates into the HPEC wallet of the practicing residents so that they can carry those credentials for the lifetime of their careers and never ever have to do this primary source verification again. So yes, there is a social media component. Yes, there is a communications component, but this is really about employment mobility, credential verification that's instantaneous and user-centric.
So is your ultimate goal for all institutions in the US to be using this application, the issuing as well as the receiving ones, as well as the physicians?
Yes, and so because we're based on self-sovereign identity standards, they don't have to use the EverCred protocol to do that. And physicians don't have to use the HPEC wallet to store their credentials. These are just the two current options that we're offering. But if they're using self-sovereign identity standards, which are developed by the World Wide Web Consortium and the Decentralized Identity Foundation, then any application can use them and can transfer these into any type of wallet. So it's not a centralized system, it's decentralized, but it is the future. The Department of Homeland Security, for example, has been developing technology using these standards as well for the same reasons.
So Leah, very interesting. I mean, I've been watching you for years doing this really complex computer. There's a question actually in the chat that talks about, what if HPEC is hacked? Do you want to talk a little bit about why your technology is a little different?
So our current system, we have a decentralized component that is storing your decentralized identifiers on blockchain, as well as storing proof of your verifiable credentials on blockchain. So we all know that truly decentralized blockchains have never been hacked. The social media component, however, is centralized. So, just like other centralized systems, there is a risk of it being hacked, but we are trying to keep things secure. But regarding your secure enclave, regarding your credentials, regarding your identity, that is kept in a secure enclave and a cloud wallet that only you have the private keys to. And so for those of you who are familiar with decentralized systems, the thing that also comes along with that is that if you lose your phone and you haven't recorded your seed phrase, or in this case, we use a QR code for account recovery, then you're at risk for losing your credentials too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, the other thing is that, as you know, we share our credentials literally with everyone. Our DEA number sits on a prescription pad. It's not really private. Most states also carry our license and our malpractice history, everything. Do you envision that at some point all of that will be not easily accessible, or that because it'll have to go through the physician first, so that any inquiry into our credentials would have to go through us?
Well, yes, and because you would now own your identity, you would also be recording who you're allowing access to them. So if somebody were to find your DEA number on a prescription pad and write a prescription, and you didn't give them explicit permission through your application, there's now a record that you never gave that permission. So when it comes to being able to actually fight those kinds of cases, we now have more control because we at least now have a record of who we did and did not allow access to and for what time period.
Okay, judges, time is up. Ready to score?